Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Slough. Don't leave that in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your host for today, Mr. Y. Callum.
Another bloody playoffs! I don't want to do another playoff! I don't want to do it! I'm not going to beat around the bush. Slough forgot how to score goals. I don't know what's going on. I do not know what's happening. But Slough have forgotten to score goals. The last few games have been testing for us. In the month of November, despite beating Slavia Prague and Derby quite heavily, we just didn't really know where the back of the net was. A 4-1 loss to Sunderland, a 0-0, that's not how you say it, a 0-0 draw with United, a 3-0 loss to Parthenope, Napoli, and a 3-0 loss to Preston were absolutely gross, to be honest with you. And we had to change things up. And what we've done is we've created a new tactic. Now, it says Callum Ball 33. I think we're nearer Callum Ball 76 at this point. I don't really know what it does. It beats Derby. It's a Derby beater, but in your face Derby. However, we've created a situation where we seem quite right-sided heavy. We're focusing down the left, and in the last game against Derby, we had 2 goals from Sampaio and a goal from Ronigan. So a lot of the goals came from our right-hand side, which was absolutely magic. However, the league, where we were undefeated a little while ago, suddenly we are not. 5th place in the league table. We have to get Champions League this season as well. 25 points on the board. Look, we're not in crisis. It feels like we are, but we're not. We're not in crisis. And today we face off against Leicester City, who currently play in 19th in the Premier League. But there's something significant about Leicester City. Something very significant indeed. And that is their manager. We are taking on the mighty Kessie Denton. Can you believe that Kessie Denton is not only a manager in the game, but he is also a Premier League manager? It's his first managerial job. I tell you what, he's a decent manager. He was a coach at us previously to that, and then I let him go with my blessings to Leicester. If you remember, there you go, just confirming it is his first job. If you remember, he was Mr. Slough. He has more appearances for Slough than any other player in our history. 478, there we go, is his record that he holds for us. I played him for England. He even got himself a little goal for England. Gets that ball in towards the front post. It's headed away. Boateng picks it up. Denton! Yes! Come on! Kessie Denton has smashed one in for England! An absolutely huge player for us, Kessie Denton, and someone who I genuinely really love. As far as new gens go, they don't get much better. He's also a late developer, which really, really helped. However, today, we intend on putting him to the sword and beating Kessie Denton's Leicester. Let's go and do it, shall we? So the team will be Jelko in goal, who's actually having a really bad time of it at the moment. Ruben Sampaio obviously scored 2 in his last game. Miggy Benavides, Philo Pastry and Eminem at left back. Andy Garvin, despite playing most of the season, has complained about getting first team football. However, we're not going to start him in this one, which probably won't help the situation. We're playing 2 defensive midfielders. It was something that was highlighted by the chat, that maybe we were a bit too open defensively. So we've got Krop and Halilovic, who obviously were in our midfield anyway, as defensive midfielders. Do we now need to buy a DM if this formation works? Yeah, we do, I think. Joe Jan's ahead of them in a central midfield as an attacking central midfielder. It would usually be Reversey. Reversey picked up a knock, so he's currently not there. The key to this formation is Ronigan in right midfield with Sampaio behind him. They're the key in this formation very much. So Serato playing out on the left-hand side. A few games without a goal for Georgie, and Kruvy up front has got 1 or 2. He's got 6 in all competitions at the moment, but really, really struggling for goals. Interestingly, Nico Young did get a goal off the bench in the last game. Nisha Vendelbo, the less we say about Niestrup, the better. The fact he's not on the bench probably tells you how I'm feeling about Marcus right now. Interestingly, Jordan Yarni is an English player who can play across the back line, Leicester's captain, and someone we really want to sign. He's worth about £80 million. I also now notice that up front is Mario Rostol. Now, you might not have seen an awful lot of Mario Rostol because he was part of the team where we got relegated and then came back up into the Premier League. He was fantastic for us in the Championship, diabolical in the Prem. So we all know what's going to happen here. I think he's 6'6", if I remember rightly. Very good in the air. You can build a team around him. However, he just didn't seem to make the grade within the Premier League for us anyway. Tomorrow's match sees you. Tomorrow's match is right now, isn't it? Tomorrow's match sees you come up against a familiar face again. I'm pretty certain it's happening right now, Zoe. I think Zoe's going to now leave the ground and come back tomorrow at 3 o'clock and be like, "What's going on?" Oh, Zoe. Classic Zoe. I actually don't know Zoe that well. He's got a lot of promise. I'd like to think a small part of that is down to me. Yeah, let's get some credit. End broadcast interview. I'm not willing to take questions from somebody who thinks the game is tomorrow. And we take on, as I say, how many times am I going to say it? Cassie Denton's lesson. Oh, that's heartfelt. Did you see that? We're nodding and chatting. Oh, my word. To see him on the sidelines warms my heart. It really does. Long-term assistant manager, or some people have said, long-term replacement for me. Wouldn't that be poetic if I was replaced by Cassie Denton as Slough manager? I mean, it wouldn't be great for the series, I'll be honest with you, but it would be great for me as Leicester come forward and score. Santos with a goal, no first name, the arrogance of the man, huge hair, lovely beard, I assume Brazilian. Well, 1-0 down after 2 minutes. I'm trying to distract from the fact that this is a bad situation for us, really. I'm glad it wasn't Rostol, but he's occupying all the defenders in the middle there. He's also number 7, which is gross. And Santos smashes it home. I don't know whether Jelko's at fault there. I don't feel like he did that well. But yeah, I mean, I was half expecting us to win this game, especially after beating Derby so comfortably in the last one. So it's a really, really poor start to the game for us. They're playing a standard sort of 4-5-1, if you like, with Rostol, who's just picked up a booking through the middle. Here is the second chance of the game, though. Eminem into Krop, finds Jojan now. He's getting a nice little run in the team, which is nice to see. Serrato crosses Kruvy. Kruvy. His attributes are fantastic. I think he's rubbish. Free kick here. Eminem will take Halilovic in that deeper position into Philo. Nice little triangle there. We love a good triangle. Serrato tried to find Jojan. Wasn't his best pass. And Sobzak brings up Mario Rostov off to Kinnear. Kinnear taking on Eminem. Oh, it's cooked away sort of by Halilovic. Yanni now, that man who we are looking at. I think he's a right back more than a centre half, I'll be honest. But probably doing a decent job there for Leicester. Worth keeping an eye on Yanni at the back. Who knows whether he'll be wearing a Slough shirt soon. Sobzak now down the right hand side. Crosses towards Mario Rosso. He's took it in stride. Kinnear shoots. Oh my goodness. That is an absolute screamer. I do genuinely think we might be in a bit of trouble here this season. It's the first season we've had to agree to the expectations of getting Champions League football. And I never like it when the expectations are trickier. I mean, that is an absolute screamer from Jake Kinnear. And we're 2-0 down after 18 minutes. New formations go well. Corner, Ronigan into Ruben Sampaio. Ronigan now, the two right-sided players, playing it round nicely actually. Halilovic back to Sampaio's got time. Penalty, that's a clear penalty. It's Rostol as well. And there's calls on the sidelines for his name to be sent from the stands. Not sent from the stands, just sent. We want him to get a red card. The lads on the sideline are fuming. Nothing was given. It's going to be left-footed. Jojan McCormick is taking it. Why is Jojan taking it? Jojan, that's why. He buries it. Why is he taking it? Is that the first goal for the club? I mean, it's the first goal of the season for him. I've got no idea why Jojan's taking this penalty. It's straight down the middle. It's a good pen. We will check his penalties. 15. It is pretty good, you know. The fact Kruvy didn't want it. 13 penalty takers. I suppose it is less. If you're a fan of maths, you'll know that 15 is actually more than 13. So well done, Jojan. I completely agree with your decision there. The fact that Mario gave it away, bizarre. Don't really know why he was there. As Jojan wins that ball back, Kinnear now, the screamer scorer, alliterative. Kinnear comes forward. Good tackle there from Kruvy. Why are the strikers defending nowadays? Kinnear, Santos again, all the way home to that guy, Einhaug. Santos! Good save from Jelko there. Tips it over the bar. It's been an action-packed game, this one. I'm happier now that we've scored 1 goal. I'd rather we scored maybe 3. That might be greedy. 2? No, I want 3. Eminem wins it. He just cleared it against the corner flag and it went for a corner. I don't know whether you saw that. That was fantastic. Oh my goodness. Ruben Sampaio whips it towards Serato. Oh, he's got to score. Georgie boy. Sampaio now, a chance just before half-time as Halilovic doesn't get there. There's real question marks over certain players, and Halilovic is definitely one of them. Kinnear's in! Oh my goodness, what a chance that was. What a chance for Leicester to go in 3-1 ahead. Blimey, you know what? I honestly feel like 2-1 is probably a bit unfair on Leicester. They probably deserve to be winning by more. He scored in his last game, so Nico Young comes onto the pitch for Cruvy at half-time, seeing whether he can replicate that goal-scoring form that he showed at Derby in the previous fixture. Oh dear, I mean, this is a team in the relegation zone as well. This is the concern. I mean, we were battered by Preston recently as well. You know, when you're losing to the teams at the top, you sort of go fair enough. But this is a worry. Ronigan, the experiment of him being on the right-hand side, although he's just jumped from a 6.4 to a 6.8, so he's obviously did something good there. I'm not sure what that will have been. Tariq is tired in defensive midfield. I don't know. We need to make changes again. Nothing's happening. I'll be honest with you. I'll level you with you here. I don't really know what I'm doing with this formation at this point. We've brought Serato on up front. I say that, we haven't. We brought Latonda on and swapped him with Serato. Serato's now up front. Finn Reynolds, the man who everyone agrees is not very good at football, but he can play DM, is coming in as a BMW, which for fans of Football Manager, you will know that stands for Brilliant Winnable Masseuse. That's not what it is. It's not. There's a chance here straight away before the subs are made, which I always think it probably means that something massive is about to happen. Joe Jan gives it over to Ronigan. We're about to score. I can't believe it. It's 2-2, everyone. I'm so excited. Ruben Sampaio, lovely ball to Nico Young. Young does get down the line. He crosses it and... that wasn't a goal, was it? Plojo. I'd definitely call him Plojo. Great name. Krop. Oh, lovely little back heel to Philo. We're going to score again. We're going to score. Ronigan comes forward. Ronigan down the right-hand side. Ivan Ronigan. Serato! Great save from Plojo. Last sub is Carlos on for Ronigan. We've rarely played him in an attacking position, Jose Carlos. He's immediately on the ball. He's got taken down. It's a clear penalty. It wasn't a penalty at all. Sampaio picks up the loose pieces, as if you're doing a puzzle. What's the last puzzle you did? Nico Young, great question. And crosses. Latonda was there. Yanni heads away. Jose Carlos. Oh, yes! Latonda scores! It's an awful goal, let's face it. But it is 2-2. I'd love to say it's been coming, but I just don't really feel like it has. This is really sloppy, but it ends in a goal. Crossed initially, cleared away by Yanni. Then it's hit by Carlos, it hits Joffrey, and then it hits another defender, and then it hits Plojo, and it's into the back of the net. Latonda will take it all day long, and it's 2-2. And now we have time. I mean, Jose Carlos got an assist there somehow. We've got time to potentially win the game. So after I said we had time, nothing's happened. There's 4 minutes added on here. We did have time. I mean, factually, at that point, we did have time. And there's a chance. Who's it for? Irabaran picks it up in midfield. Gareth crosses is up wide of the post. And that is probably it. I mean... It's another poor result. Let's not beat around the bush. Why do I keep saying the same phrases all the time? Let's not beat around the bush. Let's beat around the bush. Let's get around that bush and beat it up. Let's fight a shrub. We were 2-0 down. It's a decent comeback, I suppose. But it's not a good enough result against a team that are in the relegation zone. And I'm willing to say that to a shrubbery's face. Okay, next up we play Tottenham Hotspur, not in the Premier League, but the Champions League, a little bit of a break from, frankly, an awful bit of form from the Premier League. You do have to make the question, when you're doing poorly in the league, do you need to concentrate as much on the Champions League? I'm not 100% sure. So I have rotated quite a lot within this game. Jose Carlos, Jovorovic, Andy Garvin all coming into the back line. Finn Reynolds will start along Gonzalo Benitez. It's quite a weak defensive midfield pairing, if I'm honest with you. Reversi, however, does come back in ahead of them. Roy Boykers and Latonda plays after his goal in the last game, with Marcus Nijtrup-Vendelbo being given yet another chance in this team, despite the fact that he just can't really kick a ball in the goal anymore. I forgot to mention as well, Benitez, who we brought into the team, hates me, so that's good. Just another, asset to the team, really. He wants to play more football. He's not good enough. He doesn't know the language, which I've talked about on previous videos, is really integral. So yeah, really difficult game this, with a heavily rotated team. Finn Reynolds, our ball-winning midfielders, booked immediately, so that's good. We'll alter that. The Champions League, the champions. Both Tottenham and Slough not in the green spaces of the Champions League. We are both in the blue, which, in reality, the colours don't really make much sense. But what it does mean for the idiots out there, what it does mean for the uneducated out there, no. What it does mean for people who don't know. Basically, it means you get entered into a playoff rather than the green spots, which miss that playoff. And I'm really good at playoffs, so it'd be fine if we go in it, probably. I'd imagine, anyway. I'd imagine it'd be absolutely fine. But what you don't want when you're not on good form is more games. And we are not on good form, and we don't want more games. Tottenham are a very, very good side. There's no two ways about it. There's no three ways about it. And you could argue there's no four ways about it. He was on the pitch with the ball in his hands there. And I know it was, not active, but I do think an inquest has to happen here, as Lopez gives it off to Christensen. Lopez, a young English defender. That's I could have said striker, goalkeeper, all the options. Who I've looked at for a long period of time. They want about 87 million for him when he was 16 and couldn't kick a ball. So we didn't sign him in the end. We've also got a young Romanian in goal who we did look at years and years ago, who was pretty nifty, I'd say, as Reynolds clears that away. Lovely volley to nobody. Oh, thrown out to Giannicoli. We're still going here. We're rocking, we're rolling. Fidalgo skips past Benitez there, who's obviously not very good at football. Carlos gets well out of position. Gianni, this is gross. That was gross. I mean, everything about that goal was bad. And the problem is, when you can't score goals, you need your defenders to be pretty good. What on earth is going on here? So Carlos is way out of position. Then Jovorovic goes over, and Filo Patrice. They both just leave a man in the middle. That man wasn't even found. It was Fidalgo, who's a completely different person, who put it into the empty net. The thing about Football Manager, and the title of my last video was, I can't stop playing it. I'm obsessed with FM. The beauty of a Football Manager is when it's good, it's just the most fun game to play. When you're just really enjoying it and your team are clicking. When it's bad, it really, really sucks. It's just not very enjoyable at all. And I appreciate I have rotated for this game, and we probably will be beaten by this team, but it's just, when you got the likes of Alessio Reversi, who is an exceptional footballer, dropping a 6.3 casually, Marcus Nijtrup-Vendelbo, club legend, just can't hit a barn door anymore. It's things like this that just really, really frustrate me, and yeah, it's just annoying. I'm gonna swap those two round. I don't think that'll make any difference, but we are going to, and that I'm sure will have all the impact. And we're going to go on to win 4-1. Jovorovic into Benitez. I do not like that bloke. We signed him in the summer. I think we're probably going to have to get rid of him in January, to be honest. Filo Pastry, it's given away. Christensen, boys, we're just so bereft of confidence. Even someone like Filo Pastry, who's so reliable, is making mistakes like this. Fidalgo played the ball in, it's deflected. But then what is Filo doing? Just put your foot through it, lads, and Christensen chips it over to Jelka, and that's probably game over, to be completely honest. Andreu. Oh. There's been a murder. We're going to have to report that to the authorities. Louis Conception's going to be going away for a very, very long time there. That was disgusting. Video games are supposed to be fun. Vernon's in. It's going to be offside, of course it is. Vernon, the young lad, smashes it home. Is it his first goal for the club? No, of course it's not. The interesting thing is as well, Derby are currently 4th in the Champions League group, winning 3-2 in their game at the moment. They're the only team we've battered recently, and they're doing so well in the Champions League. I wonder whether, I talked about how, you know, sometimes you sacrifice competition to be good in another. I wonder whether Derby have sort of gone down tools in the Prem, let's go and win the Champions League this season, because they were not good at all when we played them. A bit like we were not good at all there. It's just not good, is it? It's not good at all. And I think what we've got to do is potentially get back in the formation vault, because it would seem after these last 2 games, the formation's not working again. So a slight change of the formation with Halilovic dropping into that DLP role. You'll notice Kruvy has dropped out of the side as well. Nico Young starting with Garvin at left back. We've got Aston Villa at home. I've been scouring the market for a good DM to potentially play in this role, and you know who I found? The man who we mentioned from Leicester before, Jordan Yarney, who can not only play across the back line, but he's actually a very able defensive midfielder. I have been trying to negotiate for him. His value has come down. I think it's still going to cost us the best part of 70 million, but I think it might be worth it. I'm intrigued to know your input on that as well, but I think he could be worth purchasing for that money, to be honest with you. English tax is huge, but he is good. After a couple of stinky games, we really do need something out of this Villa game at the very least. As Stridey comes forward, Stridey shoots. Oh my goodness. I've got a stress ball Pikachu that I just knocked off my table. I've picked it up. I desperately need it here. Goodness gracious. It's a great goal by Stridey. Strode through and then scored a goal, scored a football goal. There's a throw within our half. Reversi now has it. Krop. Oh, such a bad pass by Simi Krop. Such a usual dependable player. Krause is through. Oh, it's onside, I think. Oh. I tell you what, the people who love watching pain will be absolutely loving this footage at the moment. We've got Serrato's on a 6.2. He's coming off. Simi Krop's on a 6.3. He's coming off. Oh, dear me. I think we'll push Ronigan a little bit higher, perhaps. I just don't know. I don't know what's happening. There's a chance. The first one in the second half. Pozo has it for Villa. Kevin Roberts. Half expecting the net to ripple. That's a good save from Jelko. I don't know. Am I doing something glaringly wrong? I suppose that is the question mark. Video games are supposed to be fun, Sports Interactive. They're supposed to be fun. Bonanzi into Roberts. There's only one team winning this game as Pozo comes forward, crosses here. Oliver Krause. You know what the hilarious thing is? I wanted to sign Krause in the summer and I decided he wasn't good enough. This is another really poor result. Drops us to 7th in the league. 3-0 at home. It might be the worst of the season, you know. We've lost a couple away from home that haven't been very good. Nico Young picking up a 6.1 as well. Oh my. Hey, it's been mega negative, hasn't it, all the way through this video. Let's have a bit of a positive. We have managed to convince Jordan Yarney and Leicester to agree to sell their captain, their best player, the England international, the 23-year-old. We are signing Jordan Yarney for the princely sum of £68 million. Now, feel free to put your opinions in. Is this a good or a bad signing? It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. He's an English player, which does come with a tax. Do I think a Brazilian of this ability would be 68 million? No, I do not. However, he's integral within being a homegrown player, so will be very, very valuable when it comes to Champions League registration and Premier League registration. Jordan Yarney will be joining us on January the 1st. We'll be keeping an eye on him. Let's go and beat Luton as a celebration, shall we? Final game of the video here. We are going to be taking on Luton Town away from home. Ronigan moves slightly further forward in the inside forward role. Roy Boykers returns to the team with Serrato up front this time. Young drops out of the squad completely. I did debate bringing Kruvy in, but from the start, we're going to go Serrato up front. Halilovic is moving into the half-back role, so he should drop within the centre-half. So I'm giving Sampaio a bit more licence as now a complete wing-back to go forward. What I would do for a win here, I would like to note as well, both strikers for Luton, Jadon Gonge and Dragon Radunja, are both players I've heavily looked at in the past. Dragon Radunja in particular, I mean, who knows? I've said it on so many occasions. Would he potentially be the answer to our goal-scoring woes? He does tend to do very, very well. There is Dragon, the attributes, if you are interested at all. 24 years old, Slovenian. He's worth £100 million now. We could have maybe gone in for about 70, 80 in the summer. We definitely can't afford him now after the signing of Yarni. But long-term, maybe. I don't know. We're at Kenilworth Road, and we need to get something here. And it's an early chance already, straight from kickoff. Roy the boy now down the left-hand side into Serrato. It's a poor ball, and Servi cuts it out. But Kanda now, which is like Panda with a P. Took me too long there. Ronigan goes forward. Ivan Ronigan! Yes, come on, get in there. We've scored in the foot. That might be, it might be our new record goal. The record goal is held by Milos Ilic at the moment. Ronigan might have nicked it here. Bruno gives it away to Ronigan, who drives straight through the heart of the defence. It's a really good finish as well by Ivan Ronigan, the man who we are all thinking is potentially our new main man. Gets such an important goal in that advanced inside forward position. Is it working? Oh my goodness. I fixed all the problems. I can't believe it. We're back. Slough are back. We're in the Champions League. Roy now with the ball in. It's crossed in. Ronigan! Oh, we should score. I've talked about it time and time again within this game of Football Manager. There's a thing in my mind called personal morality. It's nothing to do with the game. It's just to do with the player. And sometimes you need a little bit of a boost to personal morale. And that signing of Jordan Yarni has given me a bit of a boost. But you know what else might give me a bit of a boost? A victory here. It's all well and good saying Luton are in the relegation zone, which they are, but we played Leicester early in the video, who are also in the relegation zone. We didn't beat them, did we? As reverse, he gives it off to Ivan Ronigan, he shoots, it's just wide. Ronigan is looking really, really good in that advanced role. We're certainly playing him there again. If I remember, I'll probably forget before the next stream. But if you have enjoyed the video, please do consider dropping a like on it, especially if you're still here. If you're still here, just put in the comments, worth the wait. Yes. Great comment. Well done, me. Great thinking. Worth the wait in the comments if you've made it all the way to here. But genuinely, the last video did a lot better than I was expecting it to, considering I don't really post on YouTube that often now. And it motivated me to do it today. I'm actually going away for the weekend. And I thought, you know what would be nice? A nice surprise for everyone, for a little video to drop into their subscription boxes over the weekend. So hopefully you've appreciated a little bit of Slough. I hope you're well. Specifically you. Convincing half, looked really good. It is only 1-0 though, so I'm not getting too excited. A really solid first half. Free kick. First chance of the second half here. Roy crosses it in. It's picked up by Reversi. Alessio gets down the right-hand side. Can he get this ball in, Reversi? Back to Ruben Sampaio, who skips away with all his pace. Gets in behind, crosses it towards Kropp. It's headed away initially. Ronigan can't make it, and Kanda should get there now for Luton. Is this actually a Luton chance? No, Garvin does well there. Roy into Garvin as well. Uses his pace towards Serrato. I think it's off, but it's really mightily close. It's very well worked down the left-hand side. It is disallowed. Turn off the music. But we had a real chance there. Lovely work there. Garvin's pace. Serrato, it's very close, with that fullback. But the engine tells us it is offside. Disappointing. Corner here, Ronigan, just after we've made a couple of changes, crossed it towards Jovorovic. I wasn't going to mention it, but I will now that he took that header. Jovorovic is a player I've brought into the starting lineup today. Benavides and Filo Pastry, the usual centre-back pairing, but I thought Ilan Jovorovic, a lot of people like him. I thought, you know what, let's give him a chance. Throw in here, Sampaio into Jojan McCormick. He's taken down. It looks like it's going to be a penalty to Slough here. We have a man who knows how to take a penalty on the bench, not on the bench, on the pitch. His name is Marcus Niestrup-Vendelbo. Are we giving it to Marcus here? I feel like, Jojan scored his last one, didn't he? Looks motivated and wants to make a difference. Marcus, you've got a chance here, lad, to make it 15 minutes to go. Can Marcus Niestrup-Vendelbo score his first league goal of the season, I think, as he steps up? Oh, you are joking me. Ronigan, we better not rue that chance. Ronigan into Sampaio now. Sampaio whips it. We don't even see it. Oh, what are you doing, Marcus? 5 minutes added on. That missed penalty at the moment doesn't matter, but we know how FM can work. With 2 minutes to go here, we're holding on to an absolutely incredible, resounding 1-0 away victory. I mean, you take it, don't you? Absolutely take it. The goal in the first minute from Ivan Ronigan, we probably should have had more. 2.47 XG. It's nice to win a game. It's a relief to win a game. Which means we finish today's video, which has been, if you've made it all this way, thank you. I really do appreciate it. If you've watched all of the video, obviously there's the key word that I've said earlier on. You will have seen us go to the upper echelons of the Premier League. We are now sat in the weighty heights, lofty heights, not weighty heights, of 6th place in the Premier League, 29 points on the board. Wow, that was a slog, wasn't it? That was really, really difficult to take in a lot of ways. I'm very, very happy that we finished it with a gigantic signing alongside, finally, 3 points on the road as well. I will see you for the next bit of Slough, whether that is on Twitch or it is on YouTube. Have a great rest of your day, whatever you're on. Goodbye.